Only 6 words. Only 6 words, George Randall.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and guests. Only 6 words. I was recently at a contest, and one of the speakers talked about having gone to a storytelling workshop. And the first thing he asked them to do at that workshop was to write a story of their life in just 6 words. They were given 15 minutes to do that. Well, I had a bit of a go with 20 minutes. No, I had a bit longer than that. The 6 words that I'm going to give you, I'll explain as we go. The first word is late starter. Now that is me, believe it or not. And no, I'm not into cross-dressing. That was the last time I carried a lady's handbag. Way back when I first started primary school, I was only 4 and a half. And we're not talking preps, we're talking primary 1. I was just too young. I think the marks are still in the gorse around where I had my feet up to try and force myself from becoming trapped in that particular room. I went all the way through the 7 years of primary school. Second in the class. Second bottom. Apart from 1 year, 3 Aussies joined us towards the start of our exam period. And yes, I got to the dizzy heights of 5th bottom. Good on the Aussies. Now, it took until the 3rd year in high school before I realised what was going on. About 80%, maybe 85% of the class were just there diving. They didn't want to learn. All they wanted to do was to get the time through so that they got to the age that they could leave school. I couldn't learn. But I got an option to repeat that 3rd year of high school, start again at the beginning of 3rd year, about the middle of 3rd year, and go through for 18 months and end up with what I would say is about the equivalent of year 10. I did it. I got to year 10 and I actually became an apprentice engineer. So that's what I mean when I say late starter, because since then everything's been fine. The second word I'm going to give you is assertive. I can still remember on that school bus my first attempt at assertiveness. The bully, Andy, was bullying another boy, and I said, "Oh, hold on, don't do that." He really squared up. So, "Do you want to make something of it?" I won't go into details, but the bloodlet took a while to come good. I didn't bother with assertiveness after that. Until some 30 years later, my company actually sent me on an assertiveness course. And on that course, you learn things like, if something's really bugging you, don't let it eat you up inside. Do something about it. Ooh. Sounds good. Well, the opportunity arrived. It was my daughter's school, primary school's fete. And the band were there on the playground. And they were in full swing. Our parents, or many parents and onlookers, were in an arch around the band, looking on, until this big bruiser of a guy with tattoos up each arm came along and stood right in front. Well, he was me, thinking, I've got to say something. Then I remembered the bloodlet. I've got to say something. And eventually, someone of all my assertiveness tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Excuse me, mate, my wife would like me to move." No, I didn't say that. I said, "Excuse me, could you stand to the side because these people can't see you?" He looked at me. And I went, "Oh dear, that's what I shouldn't use." He said, and he looked at the people and he stepped aside. Now, since that day, if something happens, and Renee witnessed this on Saturday, if something happens, I have to say something. Sometimes it gets me in trouble, sometimes not. So assertiveness is certainly one of my words. Now, guide dog, please bear with me. That is a hyphenated word, as of tonight. Guide dog. Where's a guide dog coming? Well, again, at work. We had a consultant come in and they gave us these questions we had to answer, and at the end, you ended up being an animal. And I became a guide dog. This kind of missed me. Because my boss, he was an eagle. He was soaring. He was a guide dog. And then I found out that the guide dog trait is to help people, to encourage them, and to make their life a bit better. And that's where Toastmasters comes in. And before Toastmasters, and in school, I had no opportunity to do that. But now I had that opportunity, and I really enjoy it. So guide dog is certainly one of the words. The last two words are family man. Now this was taken just about 2 years ago.
Went right up, okay.
All I can say now is so I have two beautiful children. They now look a bit more like that. My daughter is 32 and my son is 30. And my wife and I next year will celebrate our 40th wedding anniversary. That family and my extended family are one of the reasons I came to Australia, so I'm there for family. So these are my 6 words. They tell me about my life. What would your 6 words be? And could you write them in 10 minutes? I'll leave you with that.